Championship Wrestling is on the air. Hi once again, everybody. I'm Tony Schiavone. This is our very special edition of Championship Wrestling. As you know, in the summer, the Great American Bash in full swing. All the top athletes in the world of wrestling are ready for the remainder of the Great American Bash. And here today on our program, very happy to have the Russian team led by Ivan Koloff. In action, you will see America's team, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes with Baby Doll and Magnum TA. Also, the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, Ole and Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and many other top stars of the NWA. Not only is the Great American Bash in full swing, but everybody anticipating, looking forward to the Rock and Roll Express Super Summer Sizzler Tour coming up very soon in the month of August. A lot of action here today as we're getting ready for the remainder of the Great American Bash. A little bit earlier, had a chance to talk to the manager of the World Tag Team Champions, none other than Jim Cornette, who was standing, of course, as he always is, with Big Bubba. Before we go to our action today, let's go to that interview with Jim Cornette and Big Bubba. Okay, we're back with you now, World Championship Wrestling. Jim Cornette, along with Big Bubba with you.
You know, this job is easier than I thought, Tony Schiavone, but let me come on in here, Bubba. I want to talk about Big Bubba Rogers right now. Shut up, you idiots. My personal bodyguard, the invincible, the indestructible, the invulnerable Bubba Rogers. He's here to make sure that no harm comes to me. Thanks to Mama for sending him down. Thank you, Mama. And look at this right here. The classic example of you don't mess around with Bubba. Dusty Rhodes, American Dream, modern-day John Wayne, took his best shot with a lethal weapon. Couldn't phase Bubba, couldn't put Bubba down. And Dusty, you better watch out. You better mind your back, because Bubba's mad at you now, and you wouldn't like Bubba when he's mad, Dusty.
Okay, there's something I want to bring up right here, Jim. We have seen your...
It's not breakfast.
We've seen your public workout, haven't we?
Yes,
We've seen your public workout.
Great.
There's another lady, the Perfect 10, a very special lady who just recently had her own little workout. We want all the
You
fans...
can't show something like that on television.
We want all the fans take a look at it right now. Back in the ring now, Ivan Koloff, Nikita Koloff, Crusher Khrushchev against Bernadette and Rocky King and Gene Legan. And before I want to talk about the Russians and the Great American Bash, David, I think we all can read lips, and we knew what Baby Doll said that one time during that little segment.
I wasn't really watching Baby Doll's lips, I guess you were, but that's the first time I've ever seen a bull moose sweat before, or a cow in a aerobics outfit. But Regardless of whether Baby Doll wants to work out or not makes no difference. I'm still in better shape than she is. I bench pressed 200 pounds last week, 20 pounds 10 times, and I'm ready for her. And we got a great match in the ring right now, David. That's what you ought to be looking at. And you too, Tony.
There is a great match in the ring, but Mr. Cornette, he is going to destroy you.
Listen to this guy.
Boy,
You're a traitor.
that was point blank.
You're a traitor to your own species, David Crockett. What kind of man are you? I bet when you go home at night, your wife tells you what dishes to put in the dishwasher, what clothes to put in the dryer.
But she is going to destroy you.
Well, okay, some of us don't care about women that much. Some of us don't let women rule our lives, David. I personally got no use for women. Look at this, the former world six-man champions, and I'm sure they soon will be again six-man champions, the Russians, Ivan Nikita Koloff, Crusher Khrushchev, beating up right now on Mean Gene Ligon, and I'm sure he's really enjoying it. But look, don't Crusher look good? He's back after that knee injury at the hands of those Road Warriors. He's looking better than ever.
You're right about that, and speaking of the... That's right. Speaking of the Road Warriors and Dusty Rhodes, the six-man world tag team champions, get a chance to go in the cage with the Russians for that title.
That is correct.
During the bash.
The only thing that they're going to do in the bash, Dusty Rhodes and the Road Warriors, is lose their titles back, what measly titles they do possess, to the Russians.
All right, the Russian Nightmare right there.
Just like I was going to bring
He's
up,
got something
David.
else on his mind. The best of seven, right?
At the end of the Great American Bash Best of 7 series, Nikita Koloff's going to be the United States heavyweight champion. Magnum's going to be home with his mother crying over spilt belts. And the Russians are going to be the six-man champions. They're going to need a U-Haul to carry all the belts around. I'm confident of that. And right, Vernon Deaton.
Look at him.
You know, when he went in the store to buy those wrestling tights, I bet they nearly had him arrested for false advertisement, man.
Tony, look at this team. Look how they're wrestling together. They've got it down. Nikita, Crusher, they're all ready.
And, you know, the amazing thing about it, David, and you too, Jim, Crusher has been out, he's been down, and they have not really been wrestling as a team for such a long period of time since the injury.
It's just like riding a bicycle, Tony Schiavone. Once you learn how, you never forget when you've got talent. When you got the talent that these three men possess, they all feel a closeness toward each other. Well, of course, Ivan and Nikita are family. And Crusher Khrushchev is the next best thing to family. So they've got a closeness. They think alike. They fell right back into their old pattern. Their teamwork looks as good as always to me, maybe even a little bit better, because they've had a lot of time to sit down with Crusher and go over the new strategy.
Look at him. Look at the Russian Nightmare, Nikita. Watch him. He has a twofold purpose. The World Six-Man Tag Team title and the U.S. title.
He's ready for Magnum TA, too. As a matter of fact, that's going to be a best-of-4 series. It ain't going to be a best-of-7 because I think he's going to take a clean sweep.
You can honestly say you would want a Russian to be the U.S. heavyweight champion?
What difference does it make, Tony Schiavone? My mother always taught me, respect people's political ideals. Don't matter whether you agree with them or not. Respect their right to stand up and say what they believe in and do what they believe in. If they're Russians, whatever, makes no difference to me. Matter of fact, it don't affect me at all because, hey, as long as the Cornette Enterprises make money, whichever way the thing goes, I don't care. I'm happy. But I respect that man's right to stand up and say that he's a Russian and he hates America because, after all, this is America and you can do what you want. By gum.
Well, there's a lot of truth in that last statement.
Well, you can find it in there somewhere, but look at that. Look at that teamwork by Ivan and Nikita Koloff.
Ivan Koloff now pushing Pee Wee Anderson.
Now, here's another example. Pee Wee Anderson, probably the world's largest midget. In there, he's constantly harassing. A lot of the referees around here are constantly harassing my men, the Russians, other guys. We don't need that harassment from the referees. We're just trying to wrestle and win a match. Now you see Crusher helping Vernon Deaton back in the ring. Well, Vernon's a little clumsy. He didn't quite make it, but Crusher was trying.
Deaton trying to get in the ring, as you can see, but Khrushchev continues.
See, now he helped him in gently by the hair there. Only a little of it came out.
You can tell from the chant there are a lot of people that don't believe the way Mr. Cornette
listen to
believes.
these idiots chanting USA. Of course we're in the USA. This is Atlanta, Georgia. It's right smack in the middle of the USA. They ain't telling us anything we don't know.
Especially during this time, and we're just days away from the Great American Bash beginning. Oh, by the way, our Great American Bash update is coming up.
Yes, it is.
Just a couple of minutes, so fans, you'll want to stay around for that.
Don't Crusher's new tights look nice also, Tony? They look very nice.
They're different.
He cut the fine figure of a man right there in that ring.
He is prime. The team of the Russians, they're ready. I think, and you'll have to agree, everybody is ready for the bash.
Oh, hey, I've never been more ready in my life. I'm in the best shape of my career. So's the Midnight Express. Look at that. Look at that. Nikita called out Magnum's name and showed Magnum exactly what's going to happen to him when he steps in that ring each and every time in that best-of-7 series. Vernon Deaton had his mouth open. He's catching a few flies there, and now,
Put that Cobra on.
just for fun, a triple Cobra.
There has to be some sort of a message they're sending out to someone here, David.
That's compressing the carotid artery, Tony Schiavone, cutting off the blood flow to the head. That'll make you pass out quicker than standing up after a long sleep.
A sickle by the Russian Nightmare. Nikita as he yells out Magnum's name. The Russians, Nikita Koloff, Ivan Koloff, and Crusher Khrushchev are your winners.
Fans, we're coming right back. Stay tuned. The Great American Bash 86 in full swing. Still to go. Fayetteville, North Carolina. Johnson City, Tennessee. Norfolk, Virginia. Greensboro, North Carolina. And Atlanta, Fulton County Stadium. A lot of questions on a lot of people's mind. First of all, who will be the next ball-headed geek? Paul Jones will put up his hair against Jimmy the Boogie Woogie Man Valiant. It could be Paul Jones. But the number one question on everybody's mind, and let's bring in right now Magnum TA. Down 3-0 in the best-of-7 series. Can Magnum TA come back?
Well, let me tell you something, Nikita Koloff. I'm not just standing around moping, thinking about what's happened. Now, you had a real good game plan. So you got to me right off the bat. First thing, tried to put me out completely. An injury that has taken me a while to recover for. Now I'm down. I'm not down 1. I'm not down 2. I'm down 3 matches, and it only takes 1 more for you to become the United States heavyweight champion. Well, that thought to me is sickening. That's something that I can't stomach. So what you've done is push me right up against the wall where I've got no choice but to come out fighting. I got nothing to lose anymore. It doesn't matter what anybody else out there thinks. I've got to live with myself. I've got to live with that nightmare, that thought of you wearing the United States heavyweight belt for Russia. That thought makes me want to puke right here on television. Well, right there in Atlanta, my friend, you're going to meet a nightmare that I've got stirring up inside me. You look in my eyes if you think for 1 second I've got the breath in my body to come back at you, that you're going to put me out. We'll review all the films. Look at how you attained those victories. It can't make you feel real proud because you couldn't get it done by yourself. Well, Magnum TA is making a promise. I'm down, but I'm a long way from being out. And if you think you can take me out, you better put me 6 feet under, because I'm coming to get back what's mine, no matter how long it takes.
Fans, let's go to the ring. And in the ring, you see the National Heavyweight Champion, Tully Blanchard, along with his Administrative Director of TV Enterprises, James J. Dillon, Jim Cornette.
Tony, I didn't miss anything, did I?
We had our Great American Bash update, and as you know, the Great American Bash, boy, it's hot.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, it's hot in here. I went to get a nice ice-cold lemonade. That's why that I was gone for a second. The ice in my pitcher melted.
We spoke with Magnum TA, who, as you know, down 3-0 in the best-of-7 series.
Boy, I'd like to have been out here. If I'd have known he was going to be here, I'd have rubbed it in his face that he's down 3-0 to Nikita, and he was making all those big claims about he was going to win 4 straight. I'd have loved to have rubbed his nose in that. I wish I'd have known he was going to come out here. I'd have got right up in his face.
Next time he's scheduled to come out, I'll let you know so you can stay around.
Well, you better, but right now, Tully Blanchard's in the ring, and I'm looking forward to taking a look at this match with Mark Fleming, James J. Dillon there at the corner, giving Tully all the instructions that he needs. And, you know, Tully's had that National Heavyweight Championship for quite some time now, and I don't see him losing. As a matter of fact, in addition to being a great champion, he's fixed to run Ronnie Garvin clear out of professional wrestling. You know about that, don't you, Tony?
Well, you can't really say he's going to run Ron Garvin out of wrestling.
I just did.
But, really?
But, you sound like a motorboat.
Listen to what I have to say now.
All right.
Both men can punch, Jim. Both Tully
No, they
Blanchard.
can't neither one of them punch me. They can punch. Okay, go ahead. I know what you're trying to say. They can punch. They both can punch.
So,
okay.
a tape fist match. There you see the tape with James J. Dillon holding his right hand. Is certainly an event that all fans will stay glued to because both men have knockout ability.
They might say tape to it. Is that what you're trying to say, Tony? You don't know what you're trying to say. I'm going to tell you what you're trying to say. You're trying to say that James J. Dillon has the tape, that Tully Blanchard's going to wrap the tape around his fist, and he's going to knock Ronnie Garvin's brains out. He's going to knock his lights out. He's going to put him out of professional wrestling. That's what you're trying to say. So why don't I just go ahead and say it for you? As a matter of fact, I just did.
Ronnie Garvin has knocked out too many men for you to sell him short on
Ronnie
a tape fist
Garvin's
match.
knocked out too many men. It's time it came to an end, and Tully Blanchard's going to put it to an end.
Blanchard, the master of the slingshot suplex. Now, fans, don't forget a tape fist match. Unlike a wrestling match, you have 10 3-minute rounds. You must be able to answer the 10 count, or you lose the match.
And do you know how embarrassing it's going to be to that Ronnie Garvin, the man with the hands of stone, making all those claims about how he's got the best punch? I bet he wants people to think he's the greatest boxer as well as wrestler, maybe even tiddlywinks player. Who knows? You know how embarrassing it's going to be to him when Tully Blanchard not only knocks him out, but knocks him out so bad that the medical commission doctors won't even let him back into professional wrestling? He is going to literally put this guy into a vegetable garden somewhere. He's going to knock his brains right out. That's what Tully Blanchard's going to do.
Now, there's no doubt the national champion has the ability to do exactly what you say. But then again, Ron Garvin has the ability also.
The only way that Ronnie Garvin can prevent getting his brains knocked out by Tully Blanchard is if he takes off running right now and Tully don't know where he went.
Blanchard, well, now he's wrestling on his own time. Trips up Fleming, coming back to the ring.
See, now Blanchard was using what you call strategic maneuvering right there. He maneuvered his way around the ring until Fleming got the idea. For some reason, Fleming thought he was running from him. He wasn't. Strategic maneuvering. He came back in, took over, got the advantage on Fleming, driving those knees into the throat now. And he's got Fleming right where he wants him and hooks up with a good chin lock. Hey, you know, it's about 125 degrees in that ring right now, I bet, because it's awful hot in this arena. It's sold out. The crowd is hanging off the rafters. And right now, Fleming has got to be gasping for breath, especially with Tully pulling up on that chin like he is. Applying pressure constantly, driving the knee in his back, doing something to Fleming all the time so that Fleming can't think, can't plan an attack.
Blanchard now with that chin. Big elbow right on top of the head. Blanchard has so many weapons.
Did you see the look in Mark Fleming's eyes right there when he cut him with that right hand? That's what's going to happen to Ronnie Garvin in the slingshot suplex. And that has to be... Wait a minute. Wait just a second. James J. right there with that tape on the fist of Tully Blanchard.
Well, you know as well as I do, a tape fist match, that suplex is not going to help you, but that right hand is.
That's what's going to help you. He had the man beat with the slingshot suplex, but he wanted a little satisfaction, and that's what Tully Blanchard got. Satisfaction.
Another win for the national heavyweight champion, Tully Blanchard, along with James J. Dillon. As you can see, more than very happy about that knockout punch. Man already dazed from that slingshot suplex. And then Dillon and Blanchard decide to tape up the right hand, and as Fleming slowly rises to his feet, helped by Blanchard, The right hand knockout punch from Tully Blanchard. Boy, he's got one also. Big shot from Blanchard. Tully Blanchard, your winner. The fans are easily pleased, like I've said a million times before, but now Robert Gibson and their Gene Wiggins, a beautiful tackle coming off the ropes. Robert Gibson drops down. Wiggins, a hip toss, nails. Nails burning, beaten out on the corner. And I've got to admit, he had a real good 15 or 20 seconds there. Wiggins better get back to the corner. That's the thing you've got to do. You've got to slow these guys down. Speed is their game. You can't let them go to the air, and you can't let them control the tempo of the match. You've got to make them wrestle your way. If you let them take you and control you, then you've not got a choice in the match. Ricky Morton gets the break now as Eaton is in the ropes. Listen to the chant of rock and roll. And you know, that's one thing I believe, Tony. They take this thing seriously. They want to hear the fans cheering for them. It gives them that extra boost of adrenaline. And right now, the double drop kick, that's exactly what I mean. They heard the fans cheering for them, and they responded with what the fans wanted, which I think is sickening. The Rock and Roll Express with that double drop kick. Winners of this event. What a combination. Looking to be the #1 contenders for the World Tag Team title. But between that status stands Ole and Arn Anderson. The Rock and Roll Express are your winners, and Jim Cornette stands by with the heavyweight champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the heavyweight champion of the world, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
And Mr. Jim Cornette, you couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better. You know, I sit back in that control room, and I see the array, and I mean the array of talent that Jim Crockett and the National Wrestling Alliance displays on this program each week, and it's awesome. And I'll tell you what's even more awesome than that is knowing that behind a shadow of a doubt, the Four Horsemen and your World Tag Team Champions are 6 of the greatest wrestlers in the world today. The 6 greatest. You talk about Ole Anderson, you talk about Arn, you talk about Tully Blanchard, you talk about Eaton, Condrey, and Flair, and you're talking about the premium in this sport. And when I see Magnum TA walk out here telling the whole world what he's going to do, but hasn't done, then I begin to wonder, what are the fans thinking? You see, Magnum, you got a date with me in Norfolk, Virginia. So, besides for the fact you got to beat Nikita, you got to beat me. And Dusty Rhodes, you've walked out here, you told the whole world that you're going to be the world champion before August 2nd. That's big talk, brother. That's real big talk, considering the fact that the greatest wrestler alive today is standing here with a gold belt with his name on it, custom made, and looking, whoo, oh, so fine. The bottom line is Big Dust, Magnum TA, Garvin, the Road Warriors, y'all are this short of being where Ric Flair, the world champ, and the 3 other horsemen have been for a long, long time. Woo! We got one in the ring. Let's go. Okay,
We looked at Tully Blanchard earlier, and now look at the man on the other side, Ron Garvin. You can't deny this man's ability at all, Jim Cornette.
Well, Tony Schiavone, just like the Nature Boy just said, you got people that come out and talk about things they're going to do and talk about things they want to do. But when you got a man like Ric Flair, like my Midnight Express, like myself, that can come out and talk about things we have done, then you've got a top caliber athlete, and the same is going to go for Tully Blanchard. He has knocked Ronnie Garvin out, and he's going to do it again. And when he does, when he puts Ronnie out of professional wrestling, then he can come out and say, I did put Ronnie Garvin completely out of the sport.
Well, Ronnie Garvin has knocked many a man out, too, including the world champion Ric Flair. Monkey over top. And Garvin caught him with that right hand.
Well, all right, but that's Monkey. That is not, I repeat, not Tully Blanchard.
Winner of the match, the man with the hands of stone, Ron Garvin. We're like a brick.
And let me remind you of this. Randy Monkey was just plain dumb to worry about impressing the people with his leapfrog instead of keeping his eye on his opponent. That's what happened.
Fans, more action right after this timeout. Ric Flair is still the heavyweight champion of the world, but looming in the back of his mind, he knows there is one man in wrestling who knows what it's like to wear the gold belt. Twice this man has held the gold belt, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
You know, Tony, I think everybody got personal problems of their own. Television ain't the place to play the dozens, and most of my brothers know what I'm talking about. I'm real serious about this thing, Nature Boy. Every bash that you've been, the American Dream has been also. Dusty Rhodes. Professional wrestling in this country as we know it revolves around two men, the Nature Boy Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes. And everybody else is playing catch-up ball, if you will. You come out and you make a prediction about being world heavyweight champion, you better be able to back it up. The sorrow and the pain and the hardship and the work that goes into being world heavyweight champion, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat is known by two men, and only two men in Jim Crockett Promotions. That's Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes. So it's only fitting, it's only right that it comes down to Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair. If you think I'm through on my quest for the world heavyweight title, you're damn wrong, television land. Nature Boy Ric Flair, your biggest problem is not what you're talking about. Your biggest problem, personal and otherwise, is Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. I have no equal as a professional athlete in this country. I might not have the muscles bulging from my arms, but my heart's big as Texas. And Jim Cornette, you will interview me next week on this program.
I have no problems with how he looks because that is the flashiest, the classiest, one of the classiest intros in professional wrestling, Gorgeous Jimmy and Precious. And I want to say this before they get underway. Just a few minutes ago, Dusty Rhodes out here with Baby Doll.
No, were they?
Yes, no, wait. They were here.
Oh, man.
And Dusty Rhodes, at the very end of his interview, said, next week, Jim Cornette, you will interview me on this program. He said that.
Well, let me tell you something. Dusty Rhodes is in no position to be telling me what I will and what I won't do, because I wouldn't interview Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes doesn't have anything to say that I want to hear. Dusty Rhodes doesn't have anything to say that Big Bubba wants to hear. And Dusty Rhodes doesn't have anything to say that Gorgeous Jimmy right there in the ring right now would want to hear. But I think the poor guy that he's wrestling might like to hear a few words of encouragement right now because he needs them against Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin.
Someone who does not need encouragement against Gorgeous Jimmy is Chief Wahoo McDaniel.
Hey, Wahoo McDaniel is just in the same caliber as the Rock and Roll Express are to us. We beat the Rock and Roll Express. We put them in the past history. Gorgeous Jimmy's proved that he can beat Wahoo McDaniel, put him in the past history. And I am going to, before the bash is over with, put Baby Doll in my past history. I'm going to get rid of her once and for all. So you see, Gorgeous, you know, I like Gorgeous Jimmy. He's classy like you said. Precious is such a doll. And she gave me a couple of recipes last week. I sent them home to Mother. You know, she's a great cook. My mother, but Precious is also. And so they're really a couple of close friends of mine.
Got a 2 count. And quickly, George South, a fine athlete, kicks out.
Yeah, George South, he's definitely a man to contend with. But I don't think so far that he showed Gorgeous Jimmy that he has anything that Gorgeous can't take care of.
South now face down on the mat as Gorgeous Jimmy looks right in our camera, talking to.
And here we go, Tony.
Television audience.
As his squeeze cheers him on, Precious cheers for it, the brainbuster from Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. And that's it for George South. Maybe another day, but not today.
You're right, it's not today because you can chalk up another win for Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin and Precious. Once again, it's the replay, the brainbuster. So effective. Such a devastating move. But is it enough to stop the Big Chief when the Big Chief has the Indian strap? Whatever match, Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin and Precious. We talked about another ball-hitting geek earlier, and we talked about that maybe Paul Jones will be the next. And let's bring in the Raging Bull.
Shimani, it makes me kind of laugh because, you know, back in the mind of Paul Jones, every morning when he wakes up, somebody's running around with a picture of him completely bald. And now I know that every time he wakes up, he thinks about Paul or Pistol Pez Watley. Excuse me, I got a little carried away beforehand. Bald every morning he gets up. Because every morning he gets up, now he's got to shave a little extra space on the top of his head, if you know what I mean. And now, Paul Jones, you're the only one left. I told you one time, you're messing where you shouldn't have been, Daddy. Because when you run with a bull, it's touch and go. And when he got me on his side, I told you, the army will fall because I will come to some conquering way. I will find how to infiltrate it and tear it apart. So me and the boogeyman are going to complete our duty in the service, as we may say, because we're going to do some service unto you. Thank you very, very much, Willie, for sticking with me because we from the streets, brother. And now there's only one thing left, and that's you, Paul Jones. You're going to be the next bald-headed geek. This T-shirt says it all. Paul Jones will be the bald-headed geek.
And we're coming right back.
Manoli and Arn Anderson, and Arn, I know what it's like to have to put up with these Rock and Roll Express punks running around trying to get in the ring with you. I wish you all the luck in the world, and so do the Midnight Express.
Well, Jimmy, first of all, you're doing a fine job being objective out here.
Thank you very much.
As quality athletes, we appreciate it. But what I got to say about you, Rock and Roll Express, I can only call a spade a spade. You're one of the finest teams that's ever come down the pike in any form or any sense of tag team wrestling. Speed, quickness, intelligence, versatility. You've got all the qualities. You deserve to be exactly where you are and in a position to be #1 contender for the World Tag Team Champions. But the one thing you got to remember, you're two individuals. Yeah, you're buddies. We're talking family. We're talking 2 of the 4 horsemen. When we defend this, we defend Flair's belt. We defend Tully's. We defend it as a unit. We're all one unit. Just remember that, rock and roll. We're all one family. You're 2 individuals.
I tell you what's wrong. I listen to Dusty Rhodes out here talking about he's the only one, he and Flair. What, do you got a towel over your head? It's talk like that that gives the Rock and Roll Express some ideas. Ideas that they wouldn't have if you didn't have your mouth flapping, Rhodes. You go ahead and tell everybody how great you are. They think they're right behind you just as great. I'll tell you this, they aren't. There's no way. And when you talk about somebody that's not in anybody else's class, we're so far above all of you that you ought to wake up. You're going to wake up, because when we get down with your Rock and Roll Express, we're going to make sure you're through, right?
Let's go to the ring. Yeah, I'm sure you've been waiting for this for all day, haven't you, Tony? Have a chance to see America's team in the ring.
It's always an event when they're
It's always a big thrill. Let me tell you something. What they ought to be in the ring with the Midnight Express. The Midnight Express would dog up on him just like, look at him. Look at Bill Murphy. I got to give him credit. He was blasting Magnum TA.
You're right, you got to give him credit, but it didn't last long. Now Magnum.
Look at that baby doll's big fat head. She's blocking the whole screen. Oh, here comes Dusty now. He's really going to make a big splash. Look at, he beats up on poor Bill Murphy, the guy smaller than Dusty.
The famed elbow drop from the American Dream. That is it.
Well, they weren't in the ring with the Midnight Express, Tony. They didn't beat the Midnight Express, so they didn't beat nobody. That's all there is to it.
Well, the fact is, the Midnight Express are the World Tag Team Champions. But you can't deny this team is a fine wrestling machine. American team. Dusty Rhodes, Magnum TA. Winners in this event.
Well, Tony, there was a couple of outspoken people, namely Warren Gorgeous, Jimmy Garvin, and Precious. It is squeezed beautiful. That's an example of a real lady, not like Baby Doll. And now, here's an example of a couple of real men. Paul Jones's Army, the Barbarian, and T.J. Khan. They're built, they're stacked, they're ready, they're tough, they're strong, and they are bad.
One awesome combination, Paul Jones's Army. Watch it. Winners of the match, T.J. Khan, Juska, and the Barbarian with Paul Jones. Jim Cornette has his champions with him.
You know, we've saved the best for last, and I'm talking about the class of professional wrestling, the World Tag Team Champions, Loverboy, Dennis, and Beautiful Bobby, my Midnight Express, alongside Big Bubba. You know,
Everybody wonders, why don't the Midnight Express do any interviews? They always want to know things about the Midnight Express, want to know their personal habits, want to know what they like, what they don't like. Well, I thought right now we'd take and do an in-depth interview with Loverboy Dennis. And Dennis, I want you to just go ahead and feel free to tell all the people everything that you want them to know about you. Just tell them everything that they've always wanted to know about Loverboy Dennis.
Everything, Jimmy? That's Bobby.
Well, Bobby, don't worry, we'll get back to you later, but let me tell you this. As for all the people wanting to know about the Midnight Express, writing all the cards, all the letters, all the phone calls, the fact of the matter is, it's none of your business. So don't you be bothering us with all your crummy comments and your stupid questions, because we don't have time for you. We're the World Tag Team Champions. We're going to remain so. Rock and Roll Express, America's team, even the big bad Road Warriors. You have nothing on the Midnight Express, the greatest team in wrestling. We invented tag team wrestling. We perfected it. We're the rulers of it, and we're going to stay on top of the hill for a long time to come. Baby doll, the Great American Bashes are almost over, and I'm saving my big surprise for you for the very last. A couple of lucky punches and a few shots here and there do not a war win, baby doll. So you remember that. And you also remember, even if you've got all those friends on your side, I got the Midnight Express, and I got Big Bubba. And you saw what Big Bubba's already done to Dusty Rhodes. You saw what Big Bubba's already done to your warlord, leaving him laying face down like a piece of garbage. All that money flying around in the ring, you know what that was? That was the fans throwing quarters in there to raise a collection to buy a gallon of gasoline for the warlord to burn his tights and his boots in the middle of the ring and quit professional wrestling. And Dusty Rhodes, you're going to be the recipient of Big Bubba's anger next time around, because like I've already told you, he don't like you very well anymore because all the things you've done to him. And I begin to think that maybe the world of professional wrestling is just not big enough for the both of you. So you remember that, Dusty Rhodes. As a matter of fact, remember until next week when you can come back and see more of me and Bubba next week. Bye-bye.